Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Anime One back with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto Was Neglected and had Isshiki's Karma Seal. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while we're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. In a rather dark room, a girl opened her eyes as she looked around and got up from the bed that she was lying on. Shit. My head feels so dizzy. It feels like the whole room is moving. Hey, Sandayu, can you bring me some water, please? She said to her manager that was waiting for her to wake up in the doorway. Sandayu nodded. Very well, ma'am. I'll get it right this instant. And also get some pills. My head is spinning, she said. Well, Sandayu chuckled nervously at that. Ma'am, actually, it's just that. Well, it's nothing to do with your head. You see, Koyuki widened her eyes when she realized what her manager was trying to say to her. She rushed out of the room and opened the door and screamed, "You gotta be kidding me!" She screamed as she saw she was on the boat on her way to the land of snow. After some time, the makeup and stuff was going on, and they were getting ready to shoot the movie of the Princess Gale, as Yoroichi was the first one to speak. This is boring as fuck, he said. Sayori nodded with him in agreement. Yes, indeed it is. Sensei, do we really have to come in this mission? And are you sure this is an A-rank mission? She said. Shisui nodded as he looked at her. Indeed it is, Sayori. Just be patient. But how is a babysitting actress getting us an A-rank pay? Naruto said, his eyes narrowed. Shisui was also a little puzzled at that, but he spoke his analysis. Well, it's quite simple, Naruto. The actresses are targeted worldwide, and who knows that who might target them. They might be A-rank ninjas, A-rank ninja that might try to assassinate Koiki for what we know. As I said, it's completely unknown. Just be on your guard, you three, he said. Three of them nodded in agreement. Whatever, it was none of their concern. As the shooting began and they finished the first part of the film, and they reached to the land of snow, the director's eyes widened as he saw the land. It's magnificent. Such a land. My goodness, it's literally screaming us to film over here. This is gonna be my greatest hit, he said, as he looked at the land of snow that was completely covered, well, in snow. This place brings back bad memories, Koiki thought as he looked at the land of snow borders. As they started unpacking their things and started filming, Koiki was filming her stuff. But then, Shisui jumped right in front of her as he deflected many kunais. Hey, what the hell are you doing? The director said to Shisui. Everyone, go back to the boat, he said as he went through hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu, he said as he blew out a huge fireball towards the location that he saw the kunai and shuriken coming from. Once the fireball made contact, a figure jumped out as he smirked at Shisui. It's been a long time, Shisui. The last time I met you, you were just a little kid. Look at you now, all grown up, the man said. Nadare Roga, said Shisui as he looked at the man. I hope you don't run like the last time, Shisui Uchiha, he said. Where is the copycat? I'm sure that he would come with you, but I guess the Hokage couldn't afford to now, could he? He said. As Shisui gritted his teeth, he won't be needed. I'll be more than enough for the likes of you, he said as Sisui looked at the man. He didn't even activate his Sharingan. He was not worth the effort. As another voice came out, well, 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 Koyuki, the princess of the land of snow, I hope you still have the hex crystal. Sisui's eyes widened when he heard the name Koyuki. Koyuki, the hex crystal, he said as he looked at Princess Koyuki was shaking up as she was getting flashbacks and trauma of her past. Naruto, sorry, Yorichi, guard her, no matter what, don't let her die, he said, or even get captured. All three of them nodded as they went in a triangle formation around Koiki. And Naruto, only you I can trust with this. Go and trap everyone inside the boat. Don't let anyone get out. Everyone go! Shisui shouted as they were rushing towards the boat. As that was happening, the girl came up as she went through hand sign. Ice style, ice senbons, she said. Yorichi was the first one to step up. Fire style, dragon flame jutsu, he said as he blew out a huge stream of flame towards the ice senbon, completely melting them. The girl jumped away from the attack as she went through hand signs. Ice style, ice blizzard, she said as he blew out a huge ice blizzard as Yorichi went through hand signs again. Fire style, fireball jutsu, he said as he blew out a huge fireball towards the ice blizzard that was coming towards him. As the both attacks canceled each other out. Sorry, I hope you can handle the other one, he said. Sorry smirked at him. Who do you think you're talking to? She said as she saw the fat man that was coming towards her and Koyuki at incredible speeds. As all the civilians were completely evacuated, the director and everyone, but Sandayu was still there. Princess, you have to get up. We have to get you to safety, he shouted. Koyuki was still traumatized. I cannot abandon land of snow, she shouted as she passed out after shouting that. Not the time, princess, Naruto said as he appeared in front of her and blocked the fat guy's claw that was coming towards him. The fat guy tried to overpower Naruto, but Naruto was smirking at him. I guess it does feel nice, but I'll say it. Isshiki, you better hear this, he thought. Don't get cocky, you inferior creature, Naruto said. The man's eyes twisted in annoyance. What the hell did you just call me, brat? He said. As Naruto went through one-handed hand signs, as the man's eyes widened. A Genin doing one-handed hand signs? Naruto then smirked. Lightning style, electromagnetic murder. Naruto spoke in a very monotone voice. Then a huge spark of lightning flew around Naruto and went towards the man, who had to dodge the attack. Even his chakra armor cannot tank something like that and just come out unscathed. Naruto then a staff appeared and a poof of smoke in his hand. This will be interesting, he said, as he spun the staff and ran towards the man and started bowing him. Well, the bow was pretty one-sided. Naruto was blocking all of his attacks and attacking him back, and that was pretty much that. Meanwhile, Shisui was all around Roga, as Roga's pretty gritted his teeth. The rumors of Shisui the teleporters. I guess it's not all just rumor, he said, as he tried to catch Shisui off guard by using his ice attacks, but they didn't work. Shisui, by using his Tanza card in Fire Chakra, simply sliced through all of his fire attack. What's wrong, Roga? You're getting desperate, you fool, Shisui said, as he appeared behind the man and swung his blade. As the blade made contact with The armor, to Sisui's surprise, his blade couldn't get through the armor. This armor, it's gotten stronger, he thought, as the man started going through hand signs. You won't get away that easily, Shisui. Ice style. Ice Dragon Jutsu, he said, as he summoned a huge ice dragon towards Shisui as Shisui went through hand signs. Fire style. Dragon Flame Bomb Jutsu, he said, as a huge fire dragons rushed towards the ice style dragon and they canceled each other out. Shisui saw what was happening. They all have escaped, huh? Naruto did a good job. You saw that Naruto was pushing the man away, the fat man away, and Yoroichi and Sari were doing a good job at handling the kunoichi that was battling them, and all of the others were gone to safety. But I won't let it go that easily, Shisui, the man said. Roga said as he rushed towards Shisui and went through hand signs. Ice style, ice whale jutsu, he said, as a huge whale formed out of the ice around them and rushed towards Shisui, who dodged the attack. Well, that was interesting. But now it's my turn, Shisui said as he activated his Sharingan. Throughout this time, he had not activated his Sharingan. That just showed how much of a difference in power was there between him and Roga. Ice style. Whale jutsu, Shisui said as well. Using the same jutsu against me won't do anything, Shisui, he said. Well, I'm not trying to defeat your jutsu or try to overpower it. I'm after something else, Shisui said with a smirk, as Roga's eyes widened as he realized Shisui, the brats, and his main target, Koyoki, were gone. He gritted his teeth. He had failed the goddamn mission. Shit. Dota won't be happy about this, he thought. A few hours later, Koiki was sleeping in her room peacefully, as Shisui was in a room with her. As he looked at her and the hex crystal as he picked it up. It's been 10 years. That's a long time, he thought, as he looked at the crystal in his hand. And he put it down as he looked at Koiki and stepped out of the room. And there he made Sandayu. You brought her to the land of snow intentionally, didn't you? He said. The Sandayu nodded. Yes, I did. Didn't you know the risk if you brought her back to the land of snow? You knew those, didn't you? Then why did you? Shisui asked, a little rage building up inside of him. Well, it's as you know. Our land was captured, and Princess Koiki and her father were completely overthrown by Doto because of his selfish desires to surpass all the 5 great nations. And because of that, Princess Koiki was hunted down and probably would have been killed as well. And the Hex Crystal, it's a treasure to our land that her father wanted to protect and keep away from Doto, no matter what the cost. He said, well, she isn't really a princess now, is she? That's her just princess being in the TVs, isn't she? Sayuri said. Naruto shook his head. Yep, you gotta listen to this conversation more carefully, Sayuri. Didn't you hear that from their conversation? It's pretty clear to me that Yukie is the rightful heir of the land, and her father was killed and overthrown by Doto. Isn't that right, Shisui Sensei? Naruto said. Shisui nodded. Yes, indeed it is, Naruto. I was there 10 years ago with Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja to this land. He was an humble operator back then. He was nowhere as strong as he is right now. And same goes for me. I was just 10 years old back then. So it's been a long time since that has happened. But I'm much more stronger than right now, so that won't be a problem, he said. as Koiki was the first one to speak. I should have died back then. See, all of them looked at the doorstep to see Koiki just standing there. She was awake, and also had the hex crystal wrapped around her neck. Sairi was clenching her fist in anger. Why did she say that? My heart is dead, and since that day, and I don't shed tears any longer because they have all dried up in a single day, she said, as all of them looked at her. Sandai stepped up. Ma'am, but you must rule over the land of snow for its people. Please, I beg of you, he said as he went down to his knees. Koike looked at him. Don't you get it, Sandayu? Doto, he's too strong. We cannot defeat him, she said, as Sandayu looked at her. But ma'am, we can. This is our chance. You can do it, he said. Koyuki scoffed. Don't say those things. Don't be delusional, Sandayu. I said it again, and I'll say over and over. I'm just here to make the movie. All those fools of this country could die for what I care for, she said. Sandayu just hung his head in shame. The two directors that were in the room just looked at them. The first director spoke. Sir, are you sure that you want to continue this movie after hearing this shit? He said. The head director just looked at his subordinate. Of course we will continue the movie. If we catch live acting ninjas in this kind of scenario, we'll earn millions of dollars. So, we will continue the movie, he said, as he pumped his fist up in the air in excitement. Shisui sighed. Well, now that Doto is on our trails, we cannot simply avoid him or escape. We have to fight him, and that's all we have got, and defeat him once and for all. Or doing so, we will die. Shisui said. All of the three Genins nodded in agreement as well. Sandai looked at all of them. Thank you. I really appreciate it, sir. Sometime later, the boat had again landed in the lands. A little far where Dato and his men could not find them. As they all stepped out the door, and the manager just looked around. Princess Koiki, she disappeared again, he said. Oh, Shisui, Sairi, and Yoriichi sighed. They will have to search for her again. Wait, Naruto, don't tell me he predicted it, Shisui said as he facepalmed. That boy's too smart for his own good, he said. Koiki was running as she collapsed. Then she looked around. I don't want to ever go through that shit again, she thought as she looked at the land of snow. The snow reminded her of her bad memories that she never wanted to suffer again. That's why she didn't want to come back here. She started walking towards a cave and she slipped her foot and got down. Shit, my foot, she said. Well, are you done running? She heard a voice behind her. As she looked behind to see the same kid with the black shirt and cream pants. What do you want, kid? Leave me alone. As I said to you before in the bar, it's my mission to protect you. It's just that the mission stakes have gone a little higher. Come back. Come, get on my back. I'll carry you back, he said as he kneeled down and started giving her a piggyback ride. Why are you going so far from me? She asked. Naruto looked at her. As I said, it's my mission. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll complete it, even if it cost me my life. Naruto was being honest about that. If a mission was given to him, he would do it. A mission was simply like a goal that had to be achieved, and he would achieve his goals at the end of the day. So why couldn't he achieve his mission successfully? Then they both heard something whistling behind them. That's, she said, as she saw a light That's a train, Naruto said. As he started running, you're being crazy. You can't outspace a train for God's sake, she said. Naruto smirked. Yeah, I don't know whom you're talking about, he said as he started floating a little above the ground. And BAM! In a boom, he took off and landed outside the cave. And in a few seconds, the train came out. As in the train stopped as a voice spoke. It's been a long time, Koyoki, hasn't it? He said. Dato said as he stepped up. Koyoki looked at the man as she was scared. The look in her eyes proved it. Dato, I knew you would come for me, she said as she gritted her teeth. Naruto stepped in front of her. Hey, do you have any problem with the princess? You'll have to deal with me, he said. As Dato just looked around as he saw many. Huh. So they have come to Sandayu, who was among most of the crowds of the people that surrounded Dato, spoke as he unseated his sword. Koiki, princess, has returned to the land to grant us freedom from you, monster, and we'll fight alongside her, he said, as he started to rush down to attack Dato, but Dato smirked as he waved his hand. Several of the machines that were at the side fired off kunais and shurikens at the people, as all of them were slaughtered and killed. Naruto had an impassive look on his face, as if he didn't care. Meanwhile, Koiki had a very terrified look on her face, seeing so many people die right in front of her to protect her. It was just like that day when everything was taken away from her. People tried to protect her, and she survived. She didn't want to go through that again. As Sandayu was able to get strike again, a demon rinse shuriken landed between him and deflected all the kunais. As Sari Star stepped up and she threw a kunai with paper bomb and threw it towards the machines that were there, and boom, and an explosion of the ice came down and crashed on the train as all the machines were destroyed as well. Shisui looked at the whole scene with a smile on his face. That shit kept him busy, he thought, as Sandayu was carried away. As he looked at Koiki with a sad smile. Princess, please, protect the land of no. And with those last words, he died. Koiki looked at the dead body of Sandayu with little to no emotion on her face. You're such a fool, Sandayu. I cannot cry. You have my eye drops, she said as she got up. Well, I guess your father was a fool too. Koiki snapped her head towards the voice that said that sentence with the most venomous glare that she could admit. The one who spoke those words was Naruto. I mean, you were the one who said the man who stands up against Doto is a fool. Your father did the same, even in his death. So, I guess he's the biggest fool of all, isn't he? Naruto said with a slight smirk. Sari glared at Naruto. Naruto, shut up. You're going too out of line, he said. Yoriichi just stayed silent. He didn't know what Naruto was playing at. Meanwhile, Shisui just looked at his students. With a calculating gaze, Naruto was playing psychological games with Koyoki. And maybe this could work. What the hell did you just say, you brat? Koiki said as he started to step up towards Naruto, who still had the smug look on his face. As I said, your father is a fool because he stepped up against Dato. That's your definition of being a fool, so I guess your father was the biggest fool of all. Because he died protecting the country and you, and standing up against Dato, and he's still doing it till his death. There has to be some reason why Dato wants the Hex Crystal, Naruto said. Koiki glared at him. Don't speak like as if you know anything, she said. Naruto simply shrugged. That's true that I don't know anything. But the truth is, if your father would be seeing me right now, I doubt he would even say that you are his daughter. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if he spit on your face. Slap! There was a slap as Koiki had tears in her eyes as he slapped Naruto, who just had his face turned the other way around and a little bit of red mark on his cheek due to the slap was so goddamn hard. Naruto said. What? The reality stinks, doesn't it? Well, that's how it should be, Naruto said, as Koiki started running away with tears in her eyes. How could he say that to her? But then, from airship started flying around from the corner as people inside the airship threw small balls at them. What the hell is that? Thought Shisui. Then he activated his shotgun and saw what that was. That's everyone jump away, he said, as people started to jump away and look, shit, he said, as he saw Koiki was captured. This isn't good, he thought. Then he started looking around. Where the hell is Naruto? He said. Oh god, no, please say he did that. Sayuri said as he looked up to see Naruto hanging on to the goddamn rope that was attached to the airship that was flying up. Shit, that fool. What the hell is he thinking? Sayuri thought. Yoichi just face palmed. Goddamn, Naruto. Why are you so reckless? Now I'll have to clean up your mess, you thought. Then, Naruto, as soon as he saw he was out of the range of his comrades, he left the rope as he started floating. And Otsutsuki had the ability to fly, so why couldn't he? He was a full Otsutsuki. As he started flying and he entered the plane. As Koiki was sitting there, Dato in front of her. It's been a long time, Koiki, and I must say you have grown quite beautiful. Taking the role of an actress, I guess it does suit you, since your mother, he said. Koiki dared him to say any sentence above that, then Dato didn't. Well, he didn't want to get on her bad nerves. So, where is the hex crystal? Koiki looked at the man with a smug look as he took out the necklace and gave it to the man, as the man smirked. So, this is the hex crystal, huh? So magnificent indeed, he said, but then his eyes widened in anger as he grabbed Koiki by her skirt and picked her up. This isn't the hex crystal. Are you tricking me or something, you foolish girl? Do you want to die? He said. Koiki looked at him. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, okay? Whatever I had, I gave it to you, she said. But don't tell me. Shisui, she said, as the man let go of her. Shisui Uchiha, what of him? The man, Roga, spoke. Shisui Uchiha, he must have switched the original hex crystal with this fake one. I wouldn't put that out of the scenario. The man is too smart for his own good, Roga said, as Dato simply smirked. Don't worry, they will come. And then he said as he crossed the fake hex crystal, I'll have their head, Dato said. Meanwhile, Naruto, who had used Sakuna Hikono to shrink himself in a microatomic level, heard the conversation as he smirked. So that's it, huh? Well, information gathering should not be that difficult. But, he said as he looked at Koiki, she doesn't have that light that I need her to have. That will be a problem, on the other hand, Naruto said, as he looked at her. I'll make her have that light, She had it when I talked bad about her father. Maybe killing Dato and showing her some of her father memories might give her the spirit to actually continue to protect the land of snow. That's what I need. I need a daimyo that's on my side, he thought as he vanished. He needed to infiltrate and somehow convince Koiki. After some time, Koiki was in a cell with just sitting down as she had a smug look on her face, that emotionless mask as she always had. As someone stepped up. Princess, you're quite pretty. Maybe we'll have some fun with you. One of the guards said with it's very evil and sadistic smirk as he tried to open the gate as he took out the keys. But when he tried to, he was chopped at the back of the neck. So he's the one who has the keys, Naruto said as he looked at Koki. Get up, Yuki. We'll get out of here right now and confront that bastard, Naruto said as Koki looked at him. Why are you doing this? She said. Giving up is not something that I would do. Again, as I said to you, your father would be disappointed, but we don't have time for that. That's your decision if you want to protect this country or not mine. But I can guarantee you this much. Dato won't be a threat after this, he said, as he unlocked the gate and took Koiki with her hand and started running. As soon as he did that, he saw a shinobi in front of him with black hair and many gears around him. Naruto started fighting the shinobi. Wait, Naruto, it's me, a familiar voice said as he unseated all the disguise and to Naruto's surprise, it was Shisui. Oh, it's you, Shisui sensei, Naruto said. As then other two came out. Sari and Yorichi came out the back as they both rushed towards Naruto, especially Sari as he hugged Naruto, which took Naruto by surprise. Idiot, how could he go and run off like that? Do you know how worried I was? She said. Then she realized what she said as she backed away with a blush on her face. I mean, I didn't mean it in that way. Just don't take it in the wrong way, okay? She said. Naruto had a sweat drop. Sure, why not? But we need to get out of here, he said, as Shisui nodded. As Koiki spoke, okay, I know the way out. Let's go, she said, as they all started following her towards where she was taking them. As Koiki stopped running when they arrived at the hall. As Shisui had also given her the hex crystal back, so everything was going according to plan, she thought. As she went to the room, as the lights lit on, and the man who was standing there was Dato. Shit, thought Shisui as he looked at her. You, he said with a little bit of anger in his voice. But then he had to remain calm for his Genins. This was the first mission outside of the village. He couldn't be a little panicked and make his Genins panicked as well. So Shisui stayed calm with the same emotionless look on his face. As Koiki started stepping up towards Dato. I'm an actress, you should have known. I could fake any role that I want, she said as he went up to Dato and gave him the necklace, the hex crystal. Dato looked at the hex crystal with a smirk. This one, on the other hand, is real. Yes. Good, Yuki, he said as Koike turned towards Shisui, Naruto, Sari, and Yorichi. Sari had a pissed off look on her face. Are you kidding me? After what we have done for you, you're betraying us? She shouted. Naruto put a hand on his shoulder. Just wait and watch, he said. He whispered as Koike looked at him and gave him a soft smile. Naruto smirked in return. He knew what was going on. Dato watched. Why was the brat smirking? Then Koiki started stepping up towards him as he looked at her. So, Koiki, let's go, he said as he looked at her, but Koiki smirked as he pulled out a knife out of her pocket and stabbed it in the man's heart, where at least that was what's supposed to happen. But the man, Dato, just simply started laughing. You betrayed me, princess, but I guess that shouldn't be any surprise, he said as he backhanded her away. Koiki, Shisui said as he caught her, as Dato simply went away, as a string appeared in front of him. As he grabbed Koiki by that string and pulled her away from Shisui, as he grabbed her by the waist, as a rope appeared above him, and a sound of a helicopter could be heard. See you, Konoha ninja. Oh, you three, deal with them. Don't let them get there, he said. As the three ninjas stepped up and looked at the boy. This should be fun, they thought. Shit, thought Shisui. As he looked at Roga, that was gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, Naruto, who had again escaped by using Sakuna Hikono, no one noticed that he was gone because he completely erased his presence by using his Otsutsuki powers. And Otsutsuki had the powers to completely erase his presence, if you guys didn't know that. So yeah, I just wanted to hand out that information. Naruto was going and following where Dato was going. He needed to see what this man was exactly up to. What was his plan? Koiki started speaking inside the helicopter. What the hell do you exactly want by the hex crystal, you bastard? She screamed. Well, it's quite simple. Your father has so much property that it rivals the daimyos of all 5 great nations. It's simple. I want that property. And when I do, I'll upgrade the Land of Snow military to the heights unseen, and we'll be powerful than all the 5 great nations, he said with a maniacal laugh. Koiki glared at the man. You're a fool. If you think the 5 great nations are where they are just because of finance, you're kidding yourself. Talent, hard work, counts, she said. Dato looked at her. That will all come in time, dear. But what matters is for me to get that treasure, he said with a smirk. So that's what you want, huh? You're such a fool, Koiki said as he held her head down and closed her eyes. Dato looked at her with a smirk. This is the end, princess, he said as the helicopter had landed, and he started going towards the 4 pillars that were lying there, and in the middle there was a place to put the hex crystal at. He put the hex crystal where it was supposed to go as the whole place started shining in a shade of pink. And what came out shocked Dato. No, you can't be kidding me. The treasure is a goddamn generator, he said as he looked at whose generator. Yes, this could probably fund the entire snow country with electricity, all at least for 50 years. The generator was large, but it didn't have any money, and without money, how the hell would he achieve his goals? But then he heard a voice. Dato stepped back. Well, would you look at that? This is the end, Dato, Naruto said as he stepped up. Dato ripped away the robe that he was wearing to reveal the armor underneath as he thrust at Naruto and with hand signs. Ice style, dark dragon eyes, jutsu, he said as a black dragon made up of ice rushed towards Naruto, who moved out of the way as the dragon crashed where he was. Naruto rushed towards the man as he tried attacking the man, but the man just stood there without any kind of support. as he backhanded Naruto and grabbed him by the face and kicked him away. Naruto was sent flying as he crashed into the ground, and then he banged his head on a rock as he started bleeding from his head. Shit, thought Naruto. But this was all act. He could sense their chakra. Inside, Isshiki smirked. I think it's time, Naruto. You are in a bad enough state, but I would suggest you get a little more injured. The karma seal will heal your wounds, so don't worry about that, Isshiki said. Naruto smirked. This was the first time he would be showing them this, and it was gonna be fun. Sayori and Yoroichi stepped beside Naruto as they helped him get up. Are you okay, pal? Yoroichi said, with concern in her voice. Sayori was looking at him with concern as well. Naruto smiled at both of them. Well, I'm gonna be okay. Let's take this guy down, he said. As both of them nodded, and they three went to action. Sayori jumped up as he went through hand signs, lightning style, electromagnetic murder. Both of her and Naruto said at the same time as they sent a huge stream of lightning towards the man. As the man just smirked, this wouldn't do anything. Then Yoroichi stepped up as he brought down his blade that was also covered in lightning that was surrounded by the electromagnetic murder's lightning. Then he applied fire chakra to the sword and brought down the sword at the man. As the sword started affecting the armor with his heat, Dato noticed it as he quickly kicked Yoroichi away. Then he backhanded him and grabbed him by the face and slammed him into the ground as Yoroichi was knocked out. Then Sayori stepped up. Then she tried to fight the man, but she was also very, well, what can you say? Not good. She was backhanded away and she was unable to move for right now. Meanwhile, Shisui was handling these three maggots that Dato had hired, and he had already took care of them. His one of his eyes was bleeding, but that was the thing, that precaution that he used for having the Susanoo. Genjutsu doesn't work on them. I didn't think I would have to use the Susanoo, but whatever, he thought. But then he started feeling a chakra. What is this chakra? He thought. Then Naruto started stepping up towards the man as he started battling the man in taijutsu, but Naruto's raw physical strength was not enough as the man grabbed Naruto by the face and picked him up. You are weak, boy, and you're gonna die here, he said as he brought up his hand towards Naruto's chest. Don't you dare touch him, Sayori said. Yoroichi woke up as well as he looked at Naruto, who was picked up by his head. Shit, gotta get up, Yoroichi thought. But then the karma glowed in Naruto's hand as it started spreading around. Shit, what's that? Sayori thought as he looked at the mark that went all the way towards Naruto's eyes. Hey, Naruto said as he looked at the man who was paying attention to the other two brats who was getting up. Are you sure you want to pay your attention there? He said as a wave of heat came in Naruto's hand as he blasted the man's arm right off. Dato jumped back as he looked at Naruto and clutched his arm in pain. Shit, what the hell? He thought as he looked at Naruto. Where did he get this power from? He said. Naruto just looked at the man as the wind blew, showing his karma seal. Shit. Well, I don't know myself, but I can tell you, it feels a heck a lot better, he said. As the man started backing away, he was Afraid? But why was he afraid? Stay back, the man said, as he fired off many ice-style jutsu toward Naruto, who held his arm out, and the jutsu started getting absorbed into his palm. No, I didn't know anything about this, Dato said, as he started firing off jutsu after jutsu, jutsu after jutsu, towards Naruto, who just stood in one place, and all the jutsu went towards his palm of his hand. Are you done now? Naruto said, as his karma seal was glowing red as he stepped out of the smoke, and he was walking maniacally towards Dato was shaking in fear. Shit, Dato thought. Legs, move, escape. But his legs wouldn't listen to him. They wouldn't move. What the hell was this kid? Naruto then was inches away from Dato as the ground broke underneath him as black lightning started surrounding his arm. As Naruto looked at Dato. This is the end for you, he said as the karma seal started glowing and pumping up his chakra to its maximum. As the black lightning got fiercer and fiercer, Naruto smirked as he angled it right towards the man's chest. Bam! Naruto tore to the armor and the man's chest with his arm covered in lightning as he separated his arm and took out his arm as Dato dropped to his knees as he coughed out blood as he looked up, but only to see the palm of Naruto's hand at his face. Hey, we can talk about this, okay? Money, woman, whatever you want, I can grant it to you. Just don't kill me, he said. You should have thought that before, you pig. Your breath stinks, Naruto said, as the wind blew as Dato. Everything in his life flashed before his eyes as Naruto released a huge beam towards Dato, and everyone had to cover their eyes as the explosion went off. And once the explosion was clear, the lower half of Dato's body dropped down as Naruto landed gracefully. As the karma started retracting, Shisui saw the last bit of scenes in which Naruto had blown off the man's upper body with wide eyes. That mark. What the hell is that thing? I can see it very well. It gives Naruto incredible strength, but what is that thing? He thought. As he looked at Naruto, the mark was receding in his palm. Naruto started getting fatigued as he dropped down, but before he could actually drop face down in the ground, Sari stepped up and caught him as he looked at him with concern. What was that? She thought. You're Koiki, who watched the whole scene with a little scared look on her face while she looked at Naruto. He killed her uncle, well, Dato, so easily when the land of snow armor were supposed to be so strong. Well, she remembered those words. If Gato dies, what would you do? He didn't know the answer to that, but she remembered more words that he said. Your father would be disappointed in you for abandoning the people that he cared about. Those words brought the fire back in her eyes as he looked at Naruto with a smile. Maybe this boy was special and he could do something that the others couldn't. Maybe he could do the thing that her father wanted. And that was, well, the land of snow being as powerful and as prosperous as any of the great nations. Maybe this boy could make her father's dream come true. Just maybe. She had to trust him. But inside of the karma seal, Naruto was looking at Isshiki. Well, that's stage 1 of the plan completed. They know about the karma seal now, so I can use it freely. I'll tell them I just awakened it, and I got this fierce share of abilities that just popped up in my head or some shit. Naruto said. Isshiki nodded. They don't know anything about the karma seal, and they won't be able to figure it out. That would be the best case of action. Naruto looked at Isshiki. Why are you helping me exactly? What's in this for you, Isshiki? He thought. He said what he thought. Isshiki smirked. Well, your destiny is very special, boy. I just want to see it get complete. And I don't want you to die, and I'm pretty sure you know the reason. I've said it 100 times before now. Isshiki said. Naruto nodded. Yes, because you don't want to die yourself, is that right? Naruto said. Isshiki nodded. Yes, indeed, my boy. But that doesn't mean that I'll cooperate with you anytime soon. That does mean that this partnership of ours is just something that is a mutual agreement that both of we need. That's all, he said. Naruto nodded as he started fading from the mindscape. Things were definitely getting interesting, and the first stage of his plan was complete. He needed a daimyo to fund his nation, and soon he would have one.